How many more years will we see you play?
I don't know. I don't have the answer to that.
Folks claim life starts at 40, but for this Lakers icon, a whole new chapter is starting at age 41.
LeBron! Are the retirement rumors true? What's next?
The King formally stated he is exiting Los Angeles, yet James craves one last title. Something must break, and hear me, what you are about to learn is quite stunning. James and Los Angeles are officially through.
LeBron, just what was going through your mind when you saw the video and the ovation and everything, considering everything that you've been through and experienced in this city?
I don't know. Didn't expect that.
Hear me out on something right now. When you have been tracking this game as long as I have, you start to see beneath the surface. And right now, the ties between LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers are not merely fading. They are basically gone. Because what we are observing here, people, is the death of an age. The sort of finale that will be discussed for ages. The sort of finale that makes you sit down and ponder how we got here in the first place. King James is 41 years old. Let that settle in for a second. 41. In a game where most guys are deemed veterans at 30 and washed up at 35. This guy is still out here putting up figures that would make ballers half his age envious. But here is the deal. Time catches up to everyone, even the king himself. And as we sit here in the thick of the current NBA season with James in the last year of his contract after taking his player option, the sign is not just on the wall, it is spray painted in bold purple and gold. Letters that spell out one simple word, farewell. Now, according to NBA source Jake Fisher, there is a mutual willingness to move on. Let me repeat that for the folks in the back. Mutual willingness to move on. That means both camps have stared at each other across the dinner table, shoved their plates away, and said, you know what, this thing is not working anymore. The Lakers are turning their eyes to younger talent. They are building for the future around stars like Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. Meanwhile, LeBron still has that championship itch, that fierce hunger to add one more ring to his collection before he hangs it up for good. And let me tell you, something about King James. This guy does not do anything without a plan. He never has.
Thoughts does that give you about your end game? And
Something I'll sit down with my family, my wife, and my support group and kind of just talk through it and see what happens. And then just have a conversation with myself.
From the second he stepped into this game as an 18-year-old kid from Akron, Ohio, every single step has been calculated. So when you catch whispers about him possibly joining the Golden State Warriors for one last title, run, or even the New York Knicks and some wild theories floating around out there, you better believe those. Talks are happening. They are real. They are serious, and they could reshape the entire landscape of the league. But what are the fans saying? Oh, the crowds. They always hold an opinion, do they not? And boy, have they been loud about the situation. One user on social media put it perfectly when they said, quote, his ego is what is going to force him to leave the Lakers. Lakers have already set their plan in motion. Everything Jeannie said was calculated. They know Bron is a diva. He cannot deal with rejection or criticism. His ego is what is going to make him leave. End quote. Now, do I agree with calling Bron a diva? That is a tough word. But you cannot deny there is some truth to the notion that this guy has always wanted to be wanted. He needs to feel like he is the center of the universe wherever he plays. Other fans are looking at this more logically. They see the Lakers choosing long-term pieces over Bron's win. Now window. They see a team that has decided to build around Doncic and Reeves for the next decade, rather than mortgage everything for a 41-year-old, no matter how great he is. And frankly, can you blame them? This is a business after all. Sentimentality does not win championships. Well, truly, sometimes it does, but you get my point. Then you have the fans who think this is truly a win-win situation for everybody involved. James gets to chase one last title elsewhere, ride off into the sunset on his own terms. The Lakers get cap flexibility and dodge the awkward situation of having to push out a legend. Nobody wants to be the team that forces King James into retirement. That is a public relations nightmare waiting to happen. So both camps can shake hands, say thank you for the memories, and move on with their lives. But here's where things get really interesting, because James himself has been dropping hints. Pooh Jetly ones, sure, but hints nonetheless. After a recent game against the new York Knicks, this guy stood at the podium and said, quote, Everything has to come to an end at some point. And Uixien, quote, "Listen, you tell me what does that signal to your ears, because to me that signals a veteran who is spiritually bracing himself for the last curtain. A king who senses time running out and is beginning to find calm within that. Truth, and it goes deeper. On record, James has been surprisingly transparent regarding his impending sunset.
Obviously, I haven't made a decision on the future, but very well could be. So, no matter if it's here or, going to Washington."
He remarked, "There it stands straight from the source's lips. This truly might be the end. The closing act. The final waltz, however you choose to phrase it." King James is watching the cold sunset of his athletic journey, and he is not shrinking. From fate today, even the signs from beyond the hardwood floor are gesturing in that exact direction. Nike dropped a commercial that framed his whole journey in the past tense, as though it were fully finished. As though we are now gazing back upon everything he built rather than witnessing him script fresh pages. The league schedule? Architects slotted together numerous bouts involving James and Stephen Curry this year. You believe that is accidental? Hardly. They grasp what is unfolding. Everyone grasps what is unfolding. This is the farewell tour we have all been bracing for. Look for Brian Windhorst and various sources. James currently holds 3 distinct routes moving ahead. Option 1 involves remaining with Los Angeles, yet that likely demands a salary reduction to match the club's financial and specific squad goals. It would imply sliding into a background spot beneath Luka Doncic. Can you visualize that King James playing simple backup support for someone at this phase of his journey? I struggle to picture it, yet weirder events have occurred. Option 2 is departing via free agency. The rumors hint at a potential homecoming to the Cleveland Cavaliers for a single season. Victory lap in his birthplace. Man, that would be lyrical. The child from Akron returning home one final time to simply bid farewell to the crowds who embraced him first. The Cavaliers are seemingly open to it. They would receive him back with open palms and a single-year contract that lets him conclude where it all began. And option 3, retiring pure and simple. Shelve the Kicks' exit on the glorious summit and never gaze back. James has conceded the finish is close. He is, posting decent stats this year, roughly 22.6 boards and 7 dimes, but he is clocking career. Low minutes at 33.3 and nursing minor aches like sciatica. The skeleton is quietly warning him. Vital truths. The issue is if he is prepared to hear. His rep Rich Paul has spoken up too. He noted he truly does not predict when exit will occur, but prays this is not James's final run. The gambling books are all across. The map also. FanDuel shows plus 144 for quitting prior the 26-27 campaign. That suggests near 41% odds. The Asawuludo ambiguity is palpable. No one sees what King James is about to attempt including, so it seems King James himself truly. But here is what I can say. Whatever occurs now will rock the hoop globe to its foundation. James's hard court dramas and his kin. Look, let me be brutally plain about this before we proceed any deeper. King James has held one of the purest public reputations among elite sportsmen over his 23-year pro run. No handcuffs, no spousal abuse. Charges, no drug dependency troubles, no cheating verified in legal chambers. For a guy who has truly lived under the microscope since he was 18 years young, that is nothing short of miraculous. But that does not imply his voyage has been void of potholes in the asphalt. Because believe me, there have been ample incidents that got the whole hoop landscape buzzing. Let us begin with the massive clash. The Isaiah Stewart fracas from November 21, 2021. LA against Detroit, third frame, wild ball hustle. James dives in for floor placement and clocks Stewart, square in the mug with his bone. Gore everywhere. Stewart sees crimson, and I imply that literally. The guy hunted down James like he held a blood feud pursuing him across the floor. Squad emptying brawl. Total mayhem.
Uh-oh. Stewart and LeBron. Stewart is hot. And everybody's coming out now.
Now this is ridiculous. Yeah, he must have caught an elbow or something. But
both guys got tossed. James earned a flagrant penalty too, while Stewart grabbed 2 harsh technical violations. The league issued out bans. One match for James, his first ever banishment in 19 campaigns. Let that seep in. 19 years of pro hoops, and that was the initial moment the association told him to sit one out. Stewart got 2 matches for aggravating the scene by hunting James through the stadium like something from a combat flick. Then, there was the Draymond Green crotch episode from Match 4 of the 2016 League Finals. Cavaliers against Warriors. Final frame. James steps above Green following a sequence.
Takes a little swing that misses after he objected to James stepping over him. The conversation continues, the pumping and shoving, and there's the...
Green is on the floor and seems to force collision with James's lower region. Was it purposeful? Was it incidental? Folks stay arguing about that right now. Emotions spiked pushing trash talk. Draymond caught a ban for a single match due to stacked infractions. This absence truly swung the energy of that battle. The Cavs rallied. From 3-1 down to take the ring. Accident? I doubt it. Lately, we have witnessed several fiery clashes involving Dillon Brooks. This guy appears to have made it his sole goal to grate on King James' nerves-pushing contests. Mouthy jabs. During one famous instance, James really seized and softly pushed an official whilst arguing a non-whistle. He insisted Brooks toss the rock at his skull. James received a tech, yet no tossing or ban. Skeptics labeled that star bias. Some claimed it was a legend receiving the advantage of the game. Regardless, though it grabbed news and we mustn't overlook the diving charges. Man, that diving! Clips live on. Devoted to James's finest dramatic showings on the hardwood floor, selling bumps to snag calls, dropping down as if struck by a bus when barely anyone grazed him. The haters name him Le Flop. Fans claim he is merely playing sharp hoops. The reality likely sits someplace in the middle. Yet you know which scandal truly pops out. The choice from 2010. Bron went on air, an ESPN exclusive in fact, and stated he was shifting his skills to South Beach to aid the Miami Heat.
What's your decision?
In this fall, man, it's very tough. In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
Clevelander set his shirts ablaze outside. Owner Dan Gilbert penned a fierce note terming it a double cross. The entire land voice to take. It was the most split time in new sports free market records. King surely made amends when he came back to Cleveland in 2014, though that hurt took time to cure. So, let us change. Pace and speak on one thing that displays a strictly distinct part of LeBron James, his place as a dad. Since this guy has not only crafted a hoops empire, he has reared 2 boys who are walking in his shadows. And the mode he has led them into the game whilst shielding them from judgment is truly striking. Bronny James, born October 6th, 2004. This kid rose with lenses in his grill from birth. He ran AAU. Loops went to Sierra Canyon High and grew into a big star before he even walked on a pro hardwood. At Sierra, he logged 14.2 points, 5.5 boards, and 2.4 dimes before his last run. Next hit the hard shock at USC drills in 2023. A frightening flash that threw life into clear view. Bronny Heald ran brief sets at USC, yet still found a way to go to LA. At slot 55 in 2024. That move sparked Lore, the lone dad-son team, to ball at once in the league. Picture how that has to hit inside to split the floor with your own kid at the top tier of payday. Hoops the King has been glowing at each step, each swipe, each slam. Yet he has also had to cope with haters who yell nepotism from the peaks. And handle them he did. In July 2024, Bron faced the doubters straight up. He stated Bronny is the total inverse of me in spirit, yet just as driven. He stressed that his boy don't give a damn about the noise. His talk was harsher than that, but you catch the drift. James has often stressed the kid's grind. He has spoken on how his child has been laying the bricks to be a pro for ages. Then came the clash with Stephen A. Smith in March 2025. Yeah, that is Stephen A. Smith. Once Smith judged the boys' prep on TV, Bron had a tense sideline chat with him. He ordered Smith squarely to quit toying with his kid. Those were not his precise terms, but hey, you grasp the scene. Smith soon noted on his pod that King was being a fierce dad, not just an athlete. He voiced awe for The View. Bryce Maximus James, born June 14th, 2007, came next. he has drawn less hard flack than his brother, mainly due to being fresh and holding a smaller buzz. But as a 4-star pick who pledged to Arizona in January 2025, the glare is nearing. Bryce is ranked as the number 45 guard. Boss Tommy Lloyd has also tossed the thought of benching him for the 2025-26 run to hone his skills. Dad's guidance for both boys has been steady. He drops gems via kin text threads, notes like, quote, "everyone's road." To the top varies, so keep focused and calm, end quote. He skips going to their drills. He demands their trainers keep them more liable than other cats. He needs them to bag all they own, not see it. Given to them due to who their pop is. In September 2025, amid talk on if King would stretch his run to ball with Bryce, he flatly said he is not pausing for Bryce. He backed his boy's claim to personal schedule minus the fatherly heat. Bron gets that meeting on league hardwood is doubtful, so he made his piece regarding it. The priority involves Bryce carving a unique lane, how James juggles insane intensity, and guardianship alongside freedom remains a thing any dad could study. He pulls on personal battles regarding young stardom to counsel the boys about disregarding noise. And trust this, there exists abundant vitriol today, yet amidst the chaos he guarded the kids whilst building toughness. It isn't merely solid fatherhood, it becomes mythical guidance. The data which built James's myth. Okay, we discuss metrics now, since if you are debating King, James 1 can't overlook the analytics. The guy truly assembled a dossier which looks like pages from a computer. Simulation. That's sort of volume forcing a double take to ensure it is factual. Newsflash, it is quite valid. Plus, it is completely absurd. We begin analyzing the tenure as a Laker. Bron signed with Los Angeles' squad during that 2018-19 run. Since then, he logged 450 matches, having 449 tips. His metrics, wearing purple, remain totally elite. 26.3 points, 7.8 boards, 8 flat dimes nightly, 1.1 thefts. Each match, 0.6 rejections. His floor shooting rate holds at 51.3 deep range at 35.8 charity. Stripe accuracy at 72.9. He keeps playing 35 flat minutes a night generally. The aggregate figures wearing gold look arguably more striking. Roughly 11,825 points, near 3,495. Boards plus 3,581 helpers. And naturally the 2020 title, that isolated ring, which too many critics want to dismiss. However, a chip is a chip, people. Never let doubters say different. King James delivered the trophy to California, ending the 10-year-long slump. This feat secures the Western reputation. Now, we pull back to view the whole journey. Via the 2025-26 campaign, Bron competed in 1,593 scheduled contests spanning 23 years alongside the Ohio squad South Beach plus LA. The lifetime mean scores narrated a tale of endless greatness. 26.9, scoring 7.5 glasswork, 7.4. Dishes each night, 1.5 swipes, 0.7 swats. The bucket success rate spanning the whole run sits 50.6 triple shooting at 34.9 line, work at 73.7. He clocked 37.7 minutes a night throughout these 23 terms. The cumulative sums show how James distances himself from anyone that ever touched a ball. 42,863 buckets. This marks the league's top point getter historically. No one posted greater stats within the annals of pro hoops. Let this sink in a moment. 11,910. Recoveries 11,789 total passes. The real efficiency rating stands near roughly 59.0%. Such digits cement him as the most versatile and rugged athlete in league lore. 4. League trophies 2012 plus 13. Inside Miami Series MVP twice. 2016 for Cleveland's organization top player again following the epic rally down 3-1. 2020 with Los Angeles' team. You knew it, series king again. 10 title round trips, totally holding a 4-6 mark. Critics note the losses as a strike on him. I argue reaching the end 10 times remains a triumph alone. Most guys never even stand there once. The present 2025-26 year proves the king still battles at top tiers. He's suited for 31 matches. Every start, 21.9, scoring 5.8 boards, 6.6 dimes. The shot completion rate is 50.5. Outside shooting at 32.9. Free throw rate at 73.7. He runs 33 1-minutes nightly. Yask, outputs have dropped since his peak. Fine. But find one other 41-year-old posting those types of metrics. You can't because no one else could perform. Yet here lies the truth regarding the king, which often goes unseen amidst the sports chatter. The guy remains a household protector first and always, and this unit has formed the bedrock for all he achieved. Braun arrived on December 30th, 1984 in Akron, Ohio. His mom, Gloria Marie, was barely 16 years of age back then. She worked various gigs to sustain them, whilst they bounced from flat to flat within a few of the city's roughest zones. The kid skipped 84 days of class during fourth year due to the chaos. His blood dad, Anthony McClelland, held a police sheet and stayed totally gone from his world. When the boy turned 9, Gloria took one of the toughest choices a parent could take. She let him stay with area Pee Wee gridiron mentor Frank Walker, plus his kin. They gave the stable atmosphere he required. They brought him into team hoops. That shift altered history. James has frequently cited his mom's struggle and the Walker clan's help as the bedrock of his triumph. Enter Savannah Brinson today, Savannah James. Their paths crossed during high school in Akron. She went to rival Bucktle High, sitting one grade below LeBron. Savannah actually sparked the initial flame by asking his digits off a shared buddy. Things started as casual chilling before growing into something unbreakable. They greeted first son Bronny in October 2004 while Savannah still attended high school, and LeBron played his rookie year. Second boy Bryce landed June 2007. Daughter Juri Nova arrived October 2014. They got engaged New Year's Eve 2011. LeBron offered a pear-cut diamond, reportedly, worth $300,000. They wed in San Diego September 14, 2013. Witnessed by roughly 200 guests featuring stars like Beyoncé and Jay-Z, childhood sweethearts who constructed a domestic dynasty absent messy headlines. Zero scandals. Zero splits, zero media catastrophes. Simply two souls who found one another early and stayed solid through it all. Savannah has emerged a philanthropist and entrepreneur in her own lane. She started programs like Women of Our Future to guide young ladies in Akron. She assists with community drives like prom suit donations. The James clan lives mostly in Los Angeles, yet keeps deep Akron roots. LeBron frequently posts peaks of home vibes on social platforms showing a stable, loving vibe. In 2004, LeBron and Gloria started the James Family Foundation to aid at-risk kids plus single-parent households in Akron. The I Promise School launched in 2018. It remains a public elementary hub for challenged pupils that provides schooling emotional care plus family assets, like career finding and GED courses. In 2015, LeBron joined University of Akron for grants, covering up to 2,300 scholars. He donated millions for causes he trusts. Now at 41 years old with retirement, appearing on the radar, LeBron James is set to gain more hours for what counts deeply. His spouse, his kids, his neighborhood, his charity. The hardwood floor granted him it all. Clout, riches, history for. Titles, the career scoring crown. Yet the true prize has always been sitting at home. When LeBron ultimately chooses to walk away from the sport, he will not be walking toward nothingness. He will be walking into a world packed with family meals, charity tasks, corporate deals, and seeing his boys carve their own lanes. Spring Hill Entertainment will keep him very occupied. His stakes in Blaze Pizza Liverpool FC and Fenway Sports Group will keep the cash rolling, yet most crucially, he will finally possess the one asset hoops could never truly offer him. Time. Time to be there for every second. Time to lead his boys minus the pressures of an NBA calendar. Time to fortify his union that has weathered everything this game could toss at it. Time to pour back into Akron in ways he never could while hunting trophies. LeBron James stepped into this league as a chosen king. He will exit it as a family rock. And frankly, that could be his supreme accomplishment of all. That's it for today, everyone. Appreciate you tuning in. To see more of these stories, tap on the link appearing on the display.